Boom! We're off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, Stillwood with my tanta, it's Zach Elias.
Yep, and twice on Sunday.
No.
No. I don't know. She laughed. She was good times. And we both sort of see the world from that same miserable, like, mean-spirited, we're coming at you. I don't give a fuck. She's in goblin mode.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. Got a bunch of great episodes. I even have a little surprise for Zachy today.
Ooh, are you naming your kid Zach?
No,
Beautiful for a girl.
I'm surprised we made it this far into the podcast and you haven't commented on my scrubs.
Those are OR scrubs.
Oh, are they?
It never gets old. Did Rushmore invent that, or has that been a thing forever?
I think that's a Rushmore thing.
It was so good.
Zach got a great
movie,
episode.
by the way. They all went downhill from there.
Episode today is episode 166, calling this one Sing Sing, because we have something we have to talk about. But before we get into that, I want to welcome in our new listeners, because for the first time today, we are going live on Amazon's new podcast app. It's this whole live radio thing. We do a live show. Why not make it all together, you know?
Yeah. So do people able to buy it on Amazon? Do we get cash for that? Is Bezos paying us?
I think if we get big, we do. But a bunch of the podcasts I listen to go on this, and I was like, why don't we just throw it on there, throw it at the wall, see what happens? You know what I mean?
How does one get big? Are we big? We should be big.
You are not big. So, Zach, for new people watching this, and for some people who have never really participated for that long, because we have a whole 165 episodes for this, why don't you give them a little synopsis? Who are we? What do we do?
What do we do? Not
I know this is your favorite way of conversing, and we're going to do this the whole show.
So we are two NJBs from one from Baltimore, one from New York, born and raised, and we prattle about whatever's topical, sports, music, current events, mostly me. If you ask your mother, I interrupt and talk about myself. And it goes on for the better part of a half hour. We do Pishadoo of the week, which is, Italian for asshole or schmuck or whatever. We will rank things from time to time, and then
which is what we're doing in today's episode.
And then it concludes with trivia. It concludes with that kind of a thing. But there's more to it than that. You'll find out as you tune in.
But before we get into today's episode, Zachy, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
This is from the back of the fridge brewery. This is actually from the Bell's Brewery.
Bell's is great. Kalamazoo.
Quite bright.
Been there. Love
it. Belgian-inspired wheat ale. So this, I don't know, this is maybe my value pack you gave me. Someone left it here. This might be from when I bought the fridge. What do you got there?
The point of look, this podcast is 30 minutes, and we get together, we have a beer together, and I always try to have a beer.
With three deep, so you're 10% in. If you just hang in there.
I've never had most beers in my life, so I'm just trying all these different craft beers from the Rusty Rail Brewing. I almost said Rusty Trombone every time I read that. I did do a couple practices. Tasting colors, tart cranberry and orange ale. Ale brewed with cranberry, orange, and lactose. They lost me at lactose, which I was getting a little weird. But it is made in Mifflinburg, PA, which, again, every time I read that, I was like, Milfburg, PA? That's a thing?
Milfburg. So, that thing, Jesus. So you had to practice? I read your wedding speech once. Like, are you going to practice it?
Yeah, we could tell.
I was great. Clean. Tidy.
Release the Kraken.
Didn't want to lose the spontaneity. I read the 3-syllable words to make sure I had those down. That was about it.
So, Zach, for these episodes online, we post things at the Alan Snyder on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook. We're pretty much everywhere, throwing as much as we can out there. Tell me you didn't absolutely love the teaser for today's episode.
I did like it.
You're the only one. That was the only like I got.
That's all you need.
Describe it for our audience.
I don't remember what it was. For the life of me.
I'm at a patient's house the other day, and I walk upstairs. The guy was amazing. He's a surfer. He's still 74 years old. He's not doing great, but other than that, and it's a light switch where it's basically a guy.
That, yeah.
Oh, you've seen that before? Where the light switch is supposed to be his schmeckle. The best is I come home, and my landlord goes, wait. You found that picture online? I'm like, that was at a guy's house. She said, somebody put that up on purpose?
He must slay. I've seen it online. I think I've even seen like a kitschy store like Spencer's or something, but no, I've never seen it, IRL at someone's house.
The best is the guy is somewhat of an artist, and he has plaster Paris of a nude female body where it's a little bit of wear and tear, if you know what I mean. And I couldn't help but say, respectfully, is this your wife up there on the wall? Because the shoe would fit for this alta caca. And he looks at me like, no, it's clearly a much younger woman. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Is that a young wife?
No.
Oh.
They're over 70, Zachy.
I don't know. He could have a young wife. He could slay. He should be single.
So for today's episode, I'm calling this one Sing Sing. Now, what does that mean in your world?
I mean, I did a string there once, but
So that was the
10
inside
long.
joke in our family growing up. My mom was always like, if you're bad, I'm taking you to Sing Sing.
It's better than Baltimore.
I had
Safer.
no idea what it was
Yeah.
about. But basically, we've been teasing this for a while. I think we're late to the party. But a couple of weeks ago, Rolling Stone magazine posted
Can Julia say that? I'm late to the party? Like, is that a pregnancy joke?
top 200 greatest singers of all time. And the big one was they left out Celine Dion. And you and I, we've talked about it. Of course, I had to go get married like an asshole, and then we had something else. But more or less, Zach and I were like, you know what? Let's go and rank our own greatest singers of all time, top 10 at least.
Yeah. So I really struggled with this. Really struggled. I had a hard time differentiating whether I liked the singer and their songs from their actual just raw talent. I don't think I did a very good job of it. I got very
Never
subjective. I'm the best at everything. And if I'm not,
you know that's Judah Friedlander's shtick, right?
What?
That's his bit. He literally just stands up there for 13 minutes and goes, "I'm the best. Name a profession," and they just rants on it, calling himself the best.
I don't love
it.
him.
It was funny once.
I don't love him. The hats doesn't get me there. Celine is Allison's top 3.
So, Zach, I got to be honest, man. We've done a bunch of these, right? Serials and different stuff. This was the hardest one I've ever had to do.
Serials flew. That was easy. No big deal. Soda's no problem.
My first list had 37 people on. I was like, oh, Jesus, I got to get down to 10.
What did I text you about 27? I'm stumped.
It was really hard.
I'm not happy with who I took off.
Some were easy to get rid of for me because they're kind of the same person.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm not stepping on any of your feet here, but for me, Robert Plant, Roger Daltrey, Eddie Vedder, Axl Rose, Bono, they're kind of the same person.
And they separate, but
A little
I made
bit.
some of the same stuff.
And
Neil
then-
Diamond, I don't think was actually on the list.
I don't think he was on the list.
That's an omission. I've got some omissions too. Who are you?
Well,
Do you have any other
we'll
omissions?
get to it, but my other big thought was, like, I had a couple of people that were the same person, and it may be a little racist, but I just kind of put them into one and picked the one I liked the best.
So they're that person. So Etta James et al.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, Zach, do you have I actually have
great.
I have I have 2 honorable mentions. Do you have any? How do you want to do it?
I've got 2 omissions and 4 honorables. I'm a mess.
Go ahead, do your honorables, and
Honorables were Paul McCartney, because his songwriting is incredible, but as a singer, he's very good, and others are better. Bob Marley, just because he's iconic. Oh, you say I'm an idiot?
Well, you are an idiot, but that's the other thing, man. Half these people are iconic. Their voices, you recognize reading the phone book, but they weren't the greatest singers.
So Axl Rose and Debbie Harry. Those are my 4 honorables.
Fair enough.
They're just iconic.
So again, I struggled with this as well because some of the voices are just legendary, and some of them with their song, like Bob Dylan's songwriting, amazing. His voice is shit.
I had that at my dinner table when I was having a bleeding, sweating blood over this.
This is why we are doing this list. You and I, we should be Rolling Stone. They should just name it the Alan Stone.
I disagree. Zach Stone. That's a great porn name, Zach Stone.
Patent
or a wrestling name. It's all there.
My honorable mentions, which I really wish we had more at the wedding. I fucking love Selena. I think Selena is one of the best talents taken too soon. Her voice was incredible. I'm like 5 deep on her catalog. I love Selena.
Can I call and say what I want to say?
Kind of in the same vein, I think Mark Anthony, maybe a little bit more of a performer. His voice is amazing.
I really want to cough and say what I want to say.
Oh, our lists are going to be very different because I'm cultured and you're an idiot.
Oh, please. So because you like Mark Anthony and Selena, not cultured, just from across Broadway.
I'm not the one who lives in the Heights, buddy.
Yeah, Neil Diamond's Heights, not Selena's.
Number 10, Zachy. Go ahead, kick it off.
All right, number 10 for me was Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury is my 6, but you go.
He had like the range, the malfunction thing that gave him all that. Songwriting, pretty good. Not as good as McCartney, but
this wasn't songwriting. Did you read the?
Like I did. I'm feeling time here. So anyway,
We're live on AMP. It's Amazon's thing. It's brand new, Zach.
Yeah, but so are we. We're hot. Okay. Anyway, Freddie Mercury, because you.
Same deal. The range was amazing. I also ran the problem that I basically most of my list is all people that are in the top 70, and it just kept on getting whittled down. He is the only one. Maybe he's one of two men on my list, and it was just one of those like. I guess I value female
so it's not
singing.
Like your comedians list.
Or yours, my friend.
I had two.
So so Freddie Mercury, his vocal talent, and they say it was because of the shape of the roof of his mouth and everything. His range was amazing, and he was a performer. I loved him. Zachy, my number 10. I basically got to the point where I was like, Mariah or Christina? They're the same person, right?
I yanked them both off because Jenna told me to yank Christina.
Same person, though.
Yeah.
So Mariah, batshit crazy. Number 5 on the Rolling Stone list, but definitely cracks my top 10. Had a ton of hits and a great range.
I had them both on there. I took Mariah off because I simply hate that Christmas shit. And Aguilera was on there, and Jenna was like, you got to lose her. So I lost her. Not Jenna, Christina. Not Jenna yet. Okay.
Number 9.
Number 9 is Diana Ross. I don't know why. She's on there for me.
Diana Ross was one of mine. I was like, this person's pretty similar.
Aretha-ish?
My number 9 is the only one that is this is my St. Peter's. This is the upset of the upset. At 194, I do not care. Kelly Clarkson is a goddamn national treasure. Her voice is
out of your fucking mind.
You're crazy. She won American Idol season 1 when it was actually good in a competition. She has like 4 bangers, including that song "Breakaway," which maybe I named a business after.
That was what you named it after that? Good thing Ruben Studdard didn't win. Name is Hit of
He did. He won the second season.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and then Carrie Underwood the third. But Kelly,
she on your list? Underwood?
No, I basically had to cut her because of Kelly Clarkson.
Because of Sunday Night Football.
Zach, you're telling me Kelly Clarkson terrible?
I couldn't tell you if she's good because I only know that one song that they always play. I don't know.
Some people wait a lifetime.
I don't know that song.
For a moment.
Oh, that's her?
Like this.
I'd rather put Teddy Pendergrass on there for One Shining Moment, which I thought about.
You know what I also wanted to say about this list? I actually would put my musical range as far as knowledge against most people. Of the 200, maybe we should go back and check. Mm-hmm. How many were you just like, I've never heard of that person? I have no
50.
idea. Same. 50. And some of them were really high.
Yeah, I think it was a self-indulgent list for Rolling Stone.
Yeah, I know. It was like,
look who we know. Look what we know that you don't.
Pinky up. We're so smart, and you're not. You're stupid.
Yeah. Here's some guy that no one's ever heard of that may or may not be a good singer, because you're not going to take the time to Google him.
Number 8.
Number 8. For me, I guess it's also Diana Ross-ish and all that. Tina Turner. We don't need another hero. It gets me there.
Not Rolling on the River?
Private Dancer. Dancer for money. You could pull her song. That's a CCR song. I had Fogerty on my list and yanked him early.
Same. Fogerty was my he has so many bangers.
But I yanked him.
His voice, he may just be talking loudly a lot of those songs.
Maybe. And if you're being honest, same guy. I like Tom Petty more than Fogerty. Not on the list.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
My first man to crack the list, he was number 86 in Rolling Stone. I know it was weird. Michael Jackson, he had a range. He had a long career. Great singer.
It was on there.
Great singer.
Long career. Almost better when he was a kid, talent-wise.
Yeah, that was one of those. He really was talented.
Probably should be
and
on mine.
Forget about the dancing, and he didn't write any songs. And I think he really was a great singer. I mean, the guy dedicated his life to talking a certain way to have a better singing voice. That's commitment, Zach.
Commitment to the craft. He did.
Would you chop your nuts off to do anything?
I mean, some things maybe.
Mets manager for a day?
A day? No.
A year?
Winning? Am I winning a World Series?
Yes.
Done. You could have
both of them?
What do I need them for? They're sitting in a jar on Jenna's nightstand anyway. Give those away. Oh yeah, I would lose my nuts for a ring. You wouldn't? O's ring?
No, I would give one, not both.
1.5.
Duh, sold for appearance.
So you wouldn't give 2 for a win, but you'd give 1.5 for an appearance, and then just try your hand, see what you got.
You know what?
It's on you.
Oh my God, yeah. Zach! I'm wearing my Orioles sweatshirt tonight at kickboxing, and there's one of the guys in my gym is fighting this weekend.
An Orioles fan, that's a rule.
No. Well, I get away with that all the time. So I go up to the dude and I was like, "Hey man, good luck this weekend," because he's a big fight. He goes, "Yeah, go O's." I said, Go where? Are they coming to your fight? Like, what? And he looks at me like, come on, you know we're supposed to. I'm like, they're horrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Zachy, number 7.
Did you give your 8?
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Oh, so 7 for me is self-indulgent, and I've moved him down from 5. If anyone knows me, like I'm a massive Springsteen fan, and love Billy Joel and like 80s, 70s stuff. But my rock hard, oeuvre is 90s grunge. Love all that shit.
Creed?
No, real grunge, not that Creed shit. Now, the one of the group who was the most skilled, not the best songs. That's Nirvana. That's Pearl Jam. Chris Cornell is ridiculous. Incredibly skilled. He was my 5 for a while, and then I couldn't do it. Love him. Good in Audio Slave. Great with Soundgarden. Apparently difficult as all hell.
Who does that remind you of?
You.
My number 7, Lady Gaga. Her catalog's getting bigger and bigger.
How is she not Mariah? How is she not Madonna? How is she?
She's
was Madonna on the list?
Ooh,
that's insane.
Sawing,
What are they doing? They have people no one's ever heard of, but no Celine Dion, no Madonna.
Aaron Neville making the list. I was just like, you got to be kidding me.
What are you doing?
That guy sounds like his microphone's disconnecting.
Guys, I couldn't tell you what half all these guys sound like.
There was a lot of them.
So 50 I don't know. 50 that are bad.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing, guys?
Come on, Lady Gaga, very talented, amazing, amazing voice. I think I've told the story on air, but I knew somebody back in the day who went to some type of performing arts school with her. They said she was the most talented person they've ever met in their life, which clearly they said also weirdest chick ever.
Yeah, that helps.
Keep it rolling. Number 6, buddy.
6. Yeah, I should have been Chris Cornell. Mick Jagger.
You're crazy.
I don't know. He's got
a singer.
I don't know, man. See, there was the thing. Like, that's what I might have missed. I think Chris Cornell might be better. And that's what I'm pissy about. He's iconic, and you can tell his voice from a mile away. But he must.
Okay, that again falls into iconic. That is one of those.
Yeah, Gaga's probably a better singer.
You know who's iconic? Adam Duritz. That I could hear his voice. I know exactly who he is, but every single thing. Not on the top 200. Maybe not even the top 400.
You might have been better than half the people on that list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
all right, maybe that was a miss.
His kill list. Have you ever seen that?
What?
You're welcome. His kill sheet.
His kill sheet?
Oh my! He did it like all the Friends.
Really?
Oh yeah. My number 6 was Freddie Mercury. Number 5, Zachy.
5. Where are we? This one I like as a singer. I don't love his songs as much as the others, but he was super successful. Brian Wilson. I saw him play years ago. He was great. Guy can hit all the notes still. The high voice of the Beach Boys.
I would take Bare Naked Ladies' Brian Wilson song over the real Brian Wilson.
I'm not saying you wouldn't, but as a skill set.
You're number 5? You're ruining my podcast, Zach.
I don't know, man. Fine. Chris Cornell is 5. That's where I had him, and I moved him down because I felt guilty about being so self-indulgent.
My number 5 is one of my combos, so I'm just taking the highest ranking person between Etta James, Ella Fitzgerald, and Billie Holiday. Zach, Billie Holiday.
James et al.
Billie Holiday, where did she grow up? I actually don't know.
That's the easy one. Baltimore. Look.
Yeah, I think born in Philly, lived in Baltimore, died very early. I think it was also crack in Baltimore.
Well done. Welcome to Baltimore.
Welcome
they
to
don't make it out of PG, and you're 40 years old.
PG is not even close to Baltimore, Zach.
All right, what's? Well, I've been to Baltimore.
Baltimore City.
Okay, Baltimore to me is like 4 blocks and a cool outdoor bar. Everything else is like Duck. Everything else is Orlando's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking terrifying.
Where was Tony Orlando on this list?
I don't know. He's not bad. By the way, outside of Philly, just as wild as Baltimore. Philly's about 9 good streets. Baltimore has 4.
The worst part about Philly is the train, the SEPTA. It just sounds dirty.
Yeah, it sounds like it comes out of your schwanz. Like a venereal
schwanz. So you wish it's that part.
Yeah, your little sigmoid over there. That made you laugh.
It did. Number 4, Zachy.
Where's my list? Number 4 is the ultimate self-indulgence for me. But he's great. And he can still bring it live. And we're going in April. And I'm wearing the shirt. Bruce kills.
He's not a great singer.
He's a great singer. Great rock and roll singer. I'm sorry he can't sing the scales.
That's literally what a great singer is. Now, if this was best rock and roller, I put Springsteen in my top 5.
He's number 1. But no, it is
possibly.
He's a singer. It's not it is a skill challenge, but Then maybe this Patsy Cline or one of the other ones they throw up there real high.
Patsy Cline was my one I kicked out of the Etta James category.
Why, 'cause she's too white?
She is good for her.
Oh God, this guy.
My
Go
number 4, who I guess you could say she's kind of the white Aretha, but Adele's got pipes and is
Adele has.
amazing
I didn't know how to
singer.
rank Adele.
Adele was number 22 in Rolling Stone, and I put her at number 4. Adele can sing.
She's
she
off
is
my list
great.
because I didn't know what to do with her.
She
was
also-
on there, I was confused.
I watched one of her interviews. You know, she had like throat surgery. She couldn't talk for a year or something. I mean, her
She
story.
had to reteach herself how to sing,
Amazing singer.
and she slays too. She's got a list.
Number
Dirt
3.
Slay. All the friends. Is Robert Plant, and it could just be because I do love. No, he kind of can fucking wail.
Do you know the t-shirts he used to wear on stage? And by t-shirts, I mean women's clothing. Yes. Do you know that was always the girl from the night before, and then whoever he slept with, he just traded every night, and he just always had a new wardrobe?
So he started that soccer trend?
Soccer
like when they give their own shirt to someone else, like Ronaldo and Messi.
I don't know,
shirts?
man, but if you ever look at the things, they're always undersized women shirts. That was his story.
That's amazing.
I think he makes Wilt Chamberlain look like a prude.
Oh my God, yeah, he was the slide. It was like nonsense.
Probably quality too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wonder what kind of quality Wilt had. He's 7 feet tall. You gotta be scaring a lot of the quality off.
Just lassoing across the room. Gotcha, bitch.
You too.
My number 3 is another gaggle of women. Lauryn Hill, Aaliyah, and then of the last
Lauryn
one,
Hill doesn't like us.
Who I don't like you.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
The one who definitely is better than the two of them is my number 3. Rolling
Brandy.
Stones 25 is Mary J. Blige, who is just amazing singer.
Yeah, she's good. I didn't know what to do with these people.
Yeah. These people.
Oh no, my top 2 are of the ilk.
All right, number
2, I put Aretha. She's great.
Keep going. Yeah, I got nothing.
And number 1 is Whitney. Like
also,
Bang Bang.
wow, look at us,
Not
Zach.
rocket science.
As terrible as your list was, you actually had
amazing.
Your list was really bad. But Aretha, obviously the pipes. You know what I could, in a world, you flip those, I grew up with Whitney and I like her songs better. But both of them, amazing
Although
singers.
Aretha slayed in the Blues Brothers. She was really funny.
Who else? Have to start taking a drink every time you slay.
Yeah. Omissions I had that were left off. Dolores O'Riordan, the Cranberries lady, amazing singer. Celtic voice, beautiful.
It's a little too yodely for me.
She knocks it out of the park. Who else can do it? You can tell her a mile away. And Paul Simon, where's that Jew bagel?
Hitting you in his car?
Once. Callback is right. Rear-ended me and Grammy. No, we rear-ended him. Well, he backed into us. Anyway, that's my list.
Very nice. Very nice. Zach, I wanted to fly through that because we have so much more to get to. So something I started a couple of weeks ago, which I'm actually really enjoying, is we're calling this segment Whatcha Watchin', because I'm pretty much up on current events all the time. You're always lagging a little bit, but just to let people know, because you know what annoys the piss out of me? People come to me and go, oh, did you see? And it's usually like, 6 months ago when it came out. Welcome to 2022.
I'm the guy who says to you, I got the house to myself. What should I watch?
Have I missed yet?
I don't know. I missed. I watched Amsterdam, which was
didn't look great.
It was okay. It was made
for you.
Yeah, for you. I don't ever need to see a second of it again. It was fine. And then I watched Red Notice. No complaints. Held my interest.
Is that your what you're watching?
No. I have a show that I'm watching currently. I am watching Poker Face. I've watched the first 4 episodes.
Wait, you have Peacock?
Yes.
I'm gonna need that login.
It's not my login.
I don't care.
Yeah, fine. So
it also has your girl.
Here's the premise. Here's the premise. Natasha Lyonne does a thing. Ipso facto, I tune in. She's fantastic. It's Columbo, but with her. That's the show.
No, it has somebody else now. I think there's like 2 or 3 people.
No, there's 1 million people in it.
Yeah, but it's each episode. Peacock. They get I'm not paying for that.
Fine, no. That said, you don't have to pay for it. I'm paying for that. I got Premier League going on. I essentially swapped HBO Max for Peacock, but the whole premise is Columbo. Like, she solves crimes throughout the country, and you know who the criminal is in the first 5 minutes.
I just got one more question for you.
Exactly. It's one more thing. Doing the eye, I could see.
I didn't know that you'd get that reference. Good for you.
I know Peter Falk. But the whole idea is, you know who did it. You know how they did it. The whole show is watching her figure it out. Just like watching her. There is no mystery.
One of the podcasts I really like is covering it. I'm like, oh, do I have to watch this now?
Yeah, the whole show is watching her, and one of the episodes she just she calls a dog a fascist. Like it's brilliant. You'll see it. I'll give it to you.
All right.
Um, just don't buy anything.
Hi, I'm Alan. Have we met?
Well, it wouldn't be you. It'll be my buddy. My mom explained that to me. My
Oh,
mom
you
has
mean
all.
don't? Oh, I thought you were telling me don't go out and buy it. You'll hook me up.
No,
You
no,
mean
no.
don't
Like
buy
don't
anything on
buy
his
anything on
account?
Peacock. Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting all the swag sent to my house.
So my mom's been ordering stuff to our accounts on Massachusetts. She's got our PlayStation 4 up there,
Oh my
which is
god.
still logged into all of our streaming services. And she's like watching movies, like, oh, I thought it was at my house. I paid for it. No, mom, you're buying those movies on Jenna's card.
Yeah, I've heard this one. Zach, I am
What are you
addicted
watching?
to a show I never thought I would like.
Hmm.
HBO, 9 p.m. Sunday nights. You know, we were on Hot D, we were on White Lotus. Now they have this stupid ass zombie thing, which
Is it
on my
good?
list of it's not good, it's great. And for me, Shaun of the Dead, Walking Dead, I am not into zombie stuff.
Zombie Land?
I hate it
Fire.
all. I'm not into it. You know, one of my biggest problem with zombies, I said this actually to Julia, I don't know the rules. Like, how do you kill them? Do you have to chop a head off? Do you have to shove a knife in their heart? Like, I don't get it.
My other issue is like, okay, if they get you, how bad is it being a zombie? You don't
Right? Doesn't
die.
it look
Like,
cool? You get to go around and do all this stuff. And
it doesn't look
oh,
it doesn't look not cool. It just looks like, okay, this is my life now. And so is the guy next to me. We're just zombies.
meanwhile, it's already
Like,
been renewed for a second season. So that made me go like, okay, because the first episode, you know exactly what's happening. The second one, it's like, you know, Oberon from Game of Thrones and the little girl who kills Wan, the giant. Like, it's a lot of them. The third episode that we watched last night from Sunday, it's like a whole other story that happens. They can keep the show going on forever, and I'm all in because the story writing is amazing. The acting is great. The budget is $1 billion, but it's really good. It's really, really good. And I hate zombies.
I think the budget for Poker Face is whatever she had on her at the time. Like
Was it the
$18 get you to do an hour of the show?
medallions from the last season of your other show?
The who?
The one she was just in, the Sweet Birthday Baby. What was it
Oh
called? I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember the name.
Russian doll.
Russian Doll. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
She
Zach.
can do no
Last
wrong with me.
part of today's episode is Pishadoo of the week. So this is where we kind of say some current events,
Wait,
some
I don't
things
get
that
to do
happen.
my little quirky thingies that's bothering me, or
Go
I
ahead.
guess they're on this.
Floor
Oh,
is
maybe,
yours.
maybe they're on your Pishadoo. Maybe
They
that
could
always
be.
go
I
there.
think
Okay,
my
fine.
number one is going to be definitely it. So let me go through some things that happen in current events that I think are just some of the dumbest things ever. And I think my list is pretty great. I got 8 candidates here. Zach,
You always think
are
your list
you
is
ready?
great, the arrogance.
Candidate number 1 for Pishadoo of the week. Okay, I'm not sure who the Pishadoo is here, so help me out. They polled the dating audience. Don't ask where, don't ask why. What is your deal breaker number that your partner has to make as far as salary? Now, do you know I've been asked that question many times on dates, and I always said, you pick a number, you get one number, and I'll tell you higher or lower, and that's it, and we go from there. But that's neither here nor there. Zach, what was the number that people said was the deal breaker?
This was nationwide.
I guess it's gonna just go
$40,000.
$30,000.
Yeah.
Now, the Pishadoo, in my opinion, who the fuck makes $30,000 a year?
Yeah, but like when you live in West or East or any of those Virginias, West Dakota, like it doesn't matter.
I know poor people that live in West Virginia. They make more than 30 grand a year,
He's
man.
not that poor. I know him too.
Okay, but also I was part-time and unemployed. I also made more than 30 grand a year. Come on.
Bully for you.
$30,000.
Kentucky? Or maybe the sex will melt your face. I don't know. Those poor girls, they're animals.
So nothing. That does nothing for you.
I wouldn't do it, but like this is nationwide. Well, I got to see the person first. There's a world where the number is 0. If the
Hot
date,
crazy scale, you're just like, I'll just take
it's
you,
a
baby.
date, not,
If it's
not,
Jenny
not
McCarthy,
marriage.
you're like, you can make 0. I got this.
Yeah, but like if it's a date with a chance for something amorous, you can make 0. If we're getting married, now we're going to talk tachlis. Now we're going to talk salary, or like well-funded account or something to that, or inherited money. I could be swayed, but for me taking you out for Chinese food and see what happens, Chinese in a throw, you don't need to make much.
Candidate number 2. This past week, the MLB gave out their awards for everything, and the Cy Young and MLB, and they write. I forget how they write it, but for Verlander, he got the trophy, and this may have been on more than one, where it says like
weeks ago, didn't they?
It was recently. No, they named it weeks ago. They got the awards this past week.
Fair enough.
On the award for baseball's most valuable pitcher, they spelled valuable wrong. VALUBLE. You had one job.
You had one job, yeah.
You had one. How does that happen?
I don't know, because you would think that there's a plate. So have they been doing this for generations?
Most valuable pitcher.
Have they been doing this now for like 50
Yeah.
years? Because I'm sure it's the same plate. The award doesn't change. All that changes is the nameplate.
Candidate number 3. This is my
That's
personal
very
favorite.
high.
Granted, it was from, I think, East Brunswick, New Jersey. A 29-year-old woman faked documentation to go to high school. She was able to go to high school and attend classes for 4 days before she was caught. She's sent to jail, and I don't even know what the crime was, but
Why
she's
is that a crime?
It was like falsifying documents and different stuff. But why the hell is she going to high school for 4 days?
Yeah, by the way, if she's Catch Me If You Can, the last thing I'd want to do is go to high school.
I heard this on the national news. I was like,
you can go be a pilot for Pan Am, but she's going to 8th grade.
Oh my God,
9th grade.
terrible.
She's taking chem class.
Candidate number 4, Perth, Australia, who's the lib of all libs. They have a problem. They were transporting radioactive capsules, and en route to where they were going, one of them fell off their truck and is lost in a low radius of 870 miles. A capsule filled with plutonium or something, which could kill a lot of people, just went missing.
That's not good.
That's not great. This is how The Last of Us starts.
Broken Arrow.
It's Chernobyl.
It's Chernobyl.
Candidate number 5. Big lawsuit in the news. Fireball whiskey. That was a little after our time in college, but I've had my share. Is getting sued because
there's better. The doctor, McGillicuddy.
Oh, I've had a couple of doctor's appointments in my day.
Mm-hmm.
It's peppermint schnapps. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
but the Fireball whiskey has no whiskey in it, and people are all raged right now.
What is it, just chemical?
It's like a cinnamon liqueur that they're just calling Fireball whiskey.
People need to do things. People need to get outside. Go into 30,000.
Candidate number 6. MLB The Show is baseball's version of Madden. They decided to put Jazz Chisholm on the cover. Now, Jazz Chisholm had 200 plate appearances last year, batted .254, and didn't really have any counting stats.
It's a Met killer. It's a Met killer.
Not last year. He barely played. The year before. The year before was great.
General, he's a Met killer. But
why do you? They said you should have put Julio Rodriguez on it.
Like
anybody. Anybody. That was just one of those swings and a misses.
Hey.
Candidate number 7. This was 2 weeks old, but too good. Do you know they're retiring the M&M spokespeople and they're making Maya Rudolph the new spokesperson for M&Ms?
To do what?
Like, I don't know. They're like getting rid of the sexy green one and the red. And it's a weird, like, they're just getting rid of them.
I like them all. Why Maya Rudolph? What the fuck? They got rid of the tan M&M, I thought.
She has naked pictures of somebody in Hollywood, right? Like, how does she get work?
You will hear what I just said.
And last one, which I hope this is on your list. I live in a world where my sports teams are my everything, and I respect
the Empire State Building.
The Empire State Building in the heart of Manhattan to put up the colors of any other team. Now, I understand when things happen in this world and, we stand with this college, with this, but the fact that just the Eagles won and you're in their division or something, what in the fuck are they doing?
What are they doing? What are they? I don't get it. It was so tone deaf.
I don't understand why they're celebrating the Eagles in any way, shape, or form.
And I had to hear about it from all my Eagle friends. It's had pictures
so
of
stupid. And the fact that the Eagles' colors are pretty similar to the Jets, it's just an extra, knife twist.
Yeah, it's not
so
good.
Those are my 8 candidates.
That's one. But sure, give me the other ones again.
I got a deal breaker, $30K, baseball's most valuable pitcher, the New Jersey woman who sneaks into a school. Perth loses a radioactive capsule. No whiskey in Fireballs. We have the Jazz Chisholm on the cover of the show. Maya Rudolph is new M&M spokesperson, and the Empire State Building.
In reality, it's Perth, because that's going to kill a lot of people.
It's going to kill some people.
Yeah. The actual answer is probably baseball, because that's so dumb. But for me, it's the Empire State Building. It's insanity. I also had Patrick Beverly or the ref on there. Did you see what happened? Because he brought a camera out and showed them.
I saw that.
Yeah. Well, when I did prop comedy, I got run. So how does he not get thrown out for showing the ref a camera? But when I show a ref some glasses, I get thrown out of a softball game.
Do you know you don't have 1/100th of the talent in your sport that he does in his?
Yeah. So he should certainly get run. He should have more self-control. And I mean, I don't know how to say this. And I don't know
this is going to be good.
I think it's society. But so there was an interview with a migrant who's now been shipped to New York. They don't like their new accommodations. Fine. Apparently, it wasn't very good. Some of them want to go back to a hotel that they've been staying at, but one of them had a tremendous idea. Half, literally 50%, he's not wrong with the stat, of apartments on Billionaires Row, 57th Street, are vacant. He wants to fill those with migrants. The genius or the arrogance to want to put yourself, you've been shipped here from by way of Honduras or by way of Texas, and your first ask is Billionaires Row. God bless America. It's not going to happen, but yeah, why not? That's his go-to.
Booze Your Dad, the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. I hope everybody had fun. Make sure you download these episodes. Tell a friend. Share everything. Zach, too bad it's still January, but next week, guess what I got another thing for you.
Ooh, baby.
February's Guilty Pleasures.
I can't wait to see his shamrocks.
We out.
Out.